Hey everyone, Dr. G here. So I know you guys are getting ready to kind of think about your informative, right? So what I wanted to do was share some brainstorming activities to kind of think about what you want to talk about, right? And so brainstorming is really helpful, especially for any type of speech, but in particular, your speech is coming up. So what I wanted to share with you are two different types of ways that you can brainstorm. So one of those particular ways is called word association, and the other one is called mind mapping. So we're going to show you an example of word association first. So what I want you to do is I want you to grab a piece of paper, just like I have here. And in the piece of paper, you're going to have a circle. And what you're going to do is you're going to come up with the very first thing that comes to your mind. Word, any word that comes to your mind. So the very first word that comes to my mind is Disneyland. So I'm going to write that in the center of my circle. So then what you're going to do, and I'll give you a second to do so. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come up with 15 to 20 different words that are associated with your main word. So for instance, Disneyland. So I think of California, right? I think of rides, Minnie Mouse. Let me think. What else am I thinking about? Walt Disney, movies, characters, foods, locations, 8. Let me think. What else? Oh goodness, Disneyland. Maybe price or pricing. Maybe parking. Let's see, ears, right? Because you got to have your Minnie or Mickey ears. Johnny Depp as a person. Trying to think. Let me think. Disneyland. I've been enough times, right? I grew up only 20, 30 minutes away. I'm trying to think about what else. You've got Downtown Disney. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let me come up with a few more. Weather and fun, memories. So now that your word association should look something like this, right? So you've got all of these words associated with it. Then what you do is you pick 3 of those words out of Disneyland that really kind of speak to you. So for instance, for me, I would choose locations, right? And I'm gonna just put that, kind of bullet point that or really circle it, make it bold. I'm gonna do different, let me see, I'm gonna do movies, okay? And I'm gonna do different characters, okay? So now that I've really circled those 3, so 1, 2, and 3. So now I'm gonna start brainstorming, right, a few of locations. So if I'm talking about locations, I know that they're in Florida. I know that they're located in California. I know they are located in Japan. And I believe there's one in Paris. Okay. Those are the locations that I know of off the top of my head, right? So then if I go to characters, there's different characters, right? So let's see, there's Minnie and Mickey. There's Goofy. There's the princesses. Let's see. There's the Cheshire Cat. There's, oh goodness. Oh, there's so many characters. They're so great. There's Dumbo. And I'll just stick to it like that. Then finally, movies. Oh goodness, movies. There's so many movies, right? So I'm going to go with my favorite, Beauty and the Beast. I'm also going to write down, let's see, some other movies that have been, then they just don't have to be animated, right? So it could be Pirates of the Caribbean. We can talk about, there's other Disney movies such as the Avengers movies. So we're going to keep it with those three. So now you'll see that my word association, Beauty and the Beast, right? If I can read my own handwriting, Pirates of the Caribbean and Avengers. Additionally, right, you got your characters, Minnie and Mickey. You have Goofy, the princesses, etc. And then the locations, Florida. Then you're going to keep going. So let me choose. So now you're going to choose one out of those three. So I'm going to keep going with the characters. So I'm going to go with the princesses. So there's a lot of princesses, right? So there's Belle, there's Cinderella, there's Rapunzel. Let me think. There's Tiana from The Princess and the Frog. There's so many princesses. I can't think of all of them. There's Jasmine. Okay. So now that I have that, so now that I've narrowed it down to those characters, right? I'm now going to choose one of those characters. So out of those characters, I'm going to choose Belle. Now, that is my overall from Disneyland, right? From my word association of Disneyland. I came all the way down, and my final topic is going to be Belle, the princess. And so I would then talk about and inform you all about Belle. So that would be my informative topic. So additionally, so that's how you do word association. So I want you to practice this. And again, you only saw that it really only takes 10 minutes, really, not even, to do this. There's another one called mind mapping. So you do the same thing. You draw a circle in the center of your paper. Now the differences in mind mapping due to Disneyland is word association is you can write down any word that you first think of. So it doesn't even have to be an association or a relationship. So Disneyland, I could have thought of horror movies, right? I could have wrote down any word I wanted to do. Mind mapping is more of that relationship that you really want to hone in on. So let's choose a different word. Let's just say, let me think. I'm going to use college. How's that? So I've got college. Looks like the sun, right? So here's my mind map. Here's my word college. Now I'm going to choose words that are associated or that are relatable to college. So let's do tuition, schools, places, books, fraternities, sororities, sports, student services, professors, students, administration, money or costs, And let's see, one more. How about some fun, right? College is fun. So you're going to do the exact same thing as you did in the first one, but this time around, instead of just coming up off the cusp of just random words with word association, mind mapping, you're going to come up with words that have to do with your main or your topic that you came up with. Now again, you're going to choose 3 of these. So I'm going to do sports. I'm going to do schools. And I'm going to do fun. So let's do sports first. There's women's sports, men's sports, athletics, athletic teams, we'll say. What other different things are there in sports? There's clubs, right? Different clubs that do sports. I'm trying to think what else. There's so many things for sports. There's Title IX, right? So that leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to choose for sports. So as you can see, I have my list, right? All having to do with sports. I didn't even choose different sports. So I could have continued, right? So I said athletic teams, but hold that thought. So let me do some fun. So what's fun to do? There's all kinds of, let's see, there's always some sort of events on campus. There's parent visits. I don't know if that's fun for you or not, but they were fun for me. I'm going to discuss friendships, living in the dorms. That's fun. And let's see, what else is fun? Everything is fun about college. I loved college. We'll keep it with that. So that again leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4 different ideas, right, for fun. Now I chose schools. So I've got ISU, Duke University. And I chose that because Duke is my favorite basketball team for college. I should say ISU, but I've been a Duke fan my entire life. I'm going to say Walden University. That's where I graduated from. Right. Let's see, what are some other schools? Harvard, USC, right? So these are all schools that I'm thinking about, talking about, right? So now I'm going to choose one of those. So I'm going to go with sports for myself. And I'm going to choose athletic teams. So now that I've chose athletic teams, now I really got to narrow that down because it's still very general, right? So you've got football, basketball, rugby, track and field, tennis. Let's see, there's so many sports. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. This is what happens when you're brainstorming, right? And that's okay. So I've got football, basketball, rugby, track and field, tennis, soccer, lacrosse. Okay. So now that I've got a list of sports, right? I'm going to choose one of those college sports or just sports in general, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be college sports. So I'm going to go with tennis. Why? Because I know about tennis. I'm passionate about tennis, played tennis for 30 years of my life. So I'm going to choose tennis. And as that is going to be my primary informative topic that I'm going to talk about. It doesn't necessarily have to be about college tennis, but do you see how I went from college to sports, different types of sports? Then I went to athletic teams, different athletic teams, and then I chose tennis. So I can talk about college tennis, I can talk about professional tennis, maybe I talk about a certain tennis player, right? So if that's being said, now I can talk specifically about tennis. So, or maybe I talk about how the game is played. So I really hope that you all take your time and brainstorm some ideas about word association and mind mapping to help you brainstorm. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Have a good day.